I didn't know when I first got my gimbal head that I was using it completely wrong. So I want to make sure that you folks don't make the same mistakes that I did. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to properly balance your gimbal head, the biggest mistakes that people make, or the biggest mistake that I made, what a properly balanced gimbal head looks like, things that throw off the balance of your gimbal, and extra gimbal tips. And if you stick around to the end, I got a bonus for you. I'm going to show you how to carry this whole thing, because I know it can be super uncomfortable. I used to not be able to stand it, but the bonus that I got for you, I'm going to teach you how to carry this thing really comfortably in the field, and it'll save your back and your shoulders and all that. So stick around for that, but let's dive in and get started. Section 1, what properly balanced looks like. So to start off, the way that you know that your gimbal is properly balanced is if I move the camera around and it freezes in place wherever I put it, you know that you have it properly balanced. And now the reason this is important for bird photography is because imagine you're shooting something like an owl, which is usually just sitting still in a tree, right? And you might have to sit there and point your camera up at it and then wait for it to turn around, for it to call, and sometimes even for it just to open its eyes. So with my gimbal properly balanced, if I point my camera up at the owl, it's gonna stay there. I can then take out my LCD, I can watch it the whole time it's up there, right? And my camera's not gonna fall. Whereas if I didn't have it properly mounted and every time I tried to bring it up and it would just fall back down, I might miss shots. I might miss that moment where the owl's gonna turn around and open its eyes, because that brief moment where I have to lift the camera back up, get it back in focus, I might be missing the action. Whereas if I have my gimbal properly balanced and I'm just able to point it right up at that owl, I can just sit there, watch and wait for that perfect moment, and my camera's already locked focus and ready for the action. Section 2, the biggest mistake. So here's the mistake that most people make, and it was the one that I kept making because I just didn't know, was normally when you get your camera set up on the gimbal, all you're doing is you're setting up the main axis here at the bottom. So you're balancing your gimbal, making sure that when you go up and down, it goes back roughly into the same place. And that's how you properly balance the gimbal. But that's only halfway there. The thing that a lot of us are missing is this vertical axis, and that makes a difference because right now, if I put my camera up, it's just gonna fall. It's not gonna be stuck in place. And like we said for that owl, if I wanna be shooting that owl and I wanna have it stuck in place and ready to go, well, I'm dropping the camera, I'm gonna miss the action, I gotta bring it back up and try and lock back on it. So that's what I was doing. That was the big mistake that I've been making. Have any of you been making this mistake? Let me know in the comments. So that's the way I was shooting, and there's nothing completely wrong with it because you can use the knob up here, lift it up, tighten it down, and it will stay. So that's the way I was shooting, but I do understand and I do like that if you do adjust this vertical axis that you can have it set and ready to go, because that's the complete package. Because this is only half the package, whereas if you do the vertical axis as well, that's the complete package. So now I'll show you how to properly set this up. Section 3, step-by-step setup. So I'm gonna show you how to set this up completely fresh. Okay, so right away, all we're gonna do is we're gonna take our tripod, we got our plate, and we're gonna put our plate down. And now what we're doing to start off is we wanna make sure that it's nice and balanced. So when I put it on right away, I'm gonna let go. Oh, some of you just had a heart attack, didn't you? So what I usually do is I'll tighten it up, test it. You don't wanna go nice and loose like I did, right? Because then it sets it up to fall off. We don't want that. So even as you're testing it, I highly recommend tighten, test, just because you never know. Expensive piece of equipment, don't mess around. Okay, I go to test, and the way I go to test is when I lift up, where's it gonna fall? I want it to fall nice and perfectly horizontal. So when I lift up, whoo, okay, we're really falling forward, so I'm gonna have to back it up. So I'm going to loosen, and we're gonna back up, okay? And then we're gonna do the same thing, go up. Ooh, that's pretty good. Up. There we go. So that looks pretty good to me. What about the other way? Or I guess the same way. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good to me. It's going rocking. Boom, look at that. Nice and horizontal. That's not bad. That looks great. So this is where I had mentioned that a lot of us tend to stop here, but now we're gonna do this vertical axis. And the way we do that, the rule of thumb for this is you want the camera lens to come up to be about lined up halfway with the top knob up here. So we're going to loosen this up here, our vertical axis knob, and I'm going to lift up till it's about half, Okay, see how we're about halfway across? And we're gonna test it again there. So remember, tighten it back up. Tighten it up. And now what I'm testing for is if I point up, it should stay there. Nope, we're dropping. So now it's just messing around. Now I'm gonna let it loose again. Maybe I'm gonna bring it up. Maybe I'm gonna bring it a little bit lower. Let's see if that works. Now it's just a game of inches. Okay, no. Maybe let's try up again. And this will be different for you as well, just as there we go. Look at that. Boom. We like that. We liked it. Perfect. That's what we want. So there it is. Now it's nice and balanced. We're good to go. Section 4, things that throw off balance. A couple of things to keep in mind is that now that you're all set up, anything that you do to this setup can affect the balance. For example, if I just remove my lens hood, my balance might get thrown. Look at, boom, remove the lens hood, balance is completely thrown off. So anything like that, I have a filter on the end here. If I take the filter off, that's going to affect it as well. If you have a zoom lens, if you have a zoom lens that extends when you zoom, that will throw it off as well. So a tip for that is whatever focal length you think you're going to be shooting at the most, put your lens at that focal length and balance the gimbal head to that focal length. So us bird photographers, probably going to be shooting fully extended most of the time, 600 millimeter, 500 millimeter. So if your lens extends, set up your lens for that focal length. Or if you decide to switch camera bodies, that will change things up as well. Right now I'm shooting with a Z8, but filming right now is the Nikon Z3. So if I put my Z3 on here, this whole setup's going to be off balance again. So just a few things to keep in mind. And one last thing on the topic is if it's small adjustments, like I mentioned the hood, right? And now it's thrown off balance. You don't need to adjust the vertical axis necessarily. Most likely it will be the plate that you'll have to wiggle back and forth. So you can ignore the vertical. For example, if I just adjust my plate here and don't touch the vertical axis, I can probably get it back, see, to how it was supposed to be. Perfect. So that's all I did. I didn't need to touch the vertical. I just needed to adjust the plate. And now we're all good. But now that I put this back on, so same thing. I put this back on. Okay, we're off balance. All I need to actually do is just adjust the plate. We'll move back because we added the weight there. Try that. Up. Perfect. And now we're all set and we're good to go again. Section 5, extra gimbal tips. So to get this started, one quick tip is your lens collar. So loosening off your lens collar. Okay, so I've loosened it off. That'll allow me to now shoot vertically and horizontally on the fly really, really quick. So shooting a bird, okay, oh, it's perched. Maybe I want to shoot a portrait. I'm able to go into vertical. Oh, okay, I'm able to switch back to horizontal. Really, really quick. Like, look at that. So smooth to be able to do that. And that's just with your, again, your tripod collar. The other tip is to keep your knobs nice and loose, just because if you've tightened them up, you're stiff. You can't move anything, right? So you want your gimbal to be doing the work. So we're going to loosen these off, okay? And that's going to allow us to swivel all the way around. If you tighten those up, you're stuck in place, right? And we don't need to do that. We don't need to tighten them up to be stuck in place because we've balanced our gimbal. So if we want to shoot up, it'll stay nice and still. We want to shoot down, it'll stay nice and still. All right, and I promised a bonus tip at the end, and that bonus tip is how to properly carry this setup in the field. If you're just traveling short distances, you know, you're getting out of the car and you just need to go down the path a little ways, this is a good way to do that. The way you're going to start is to make sure you have the two legs here are nice and parallel to you, okay? And then I'm going to spin my camera so that way it's nice and the lens is going to be nice and long towards me. So the camera's facing towards me. And next, I'm going to lock it down. I'm going to twist all the knobs to lock it all down. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to bend our knees. So make sure you're bending your knees. Get underneath here and then lift and just tilt it back. Okay, just like that. So it's resting. And then the last thing we're going to do is just take our middle and just pull it down. And that's it. So I'm just resting like this. So just like that. And then we're off. And then if I'm traveling long distances, that can be slightly uncomfortable. So the way that I'm going to do it if I'm doing long distance, I'm going to take the camera off, grab it by its collar, just hold it, and then fold this up, and then just on my shoulder. That way, it's just lighter. It's lighter, it's easier. You're not going to be hurting your back as much. You're not going to be hurting your shoulder. Just hang on to it. If you're worried about your camera, put some straps on there, and you can wrap the straps around your wrist. But this is just way lighter. If I'm going long distance, it's not going to hurt as much, not going to affect my back or my shoulders as badly as having that whole big setup all on one shoulder. That's all I got for you today, folks. But I have a free bird photography settings cheat sheet ebook linked in the description below. Like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.